Good evening. I have the pleasure to have here with me tonight a very special guest, the State Senator Jim Runestad, representing the 15th District here in Michigan. Senator Runestad, welcome to Albanian Community TV and welcome to our show.
Thank you, Anita. I'm very honored and pleased to be here.
Senator, since this is your first time at ACTV, would you please introduce yourself and our viewers and tell them more about your background and your experiences?
Thank you. Yes, I'm the state senator for the 15th Senate District, and that is kind of western Oakland County. So it has Novi and South Lyon, part of Northville, Milford, White Lake, Commerce, West Bloomfield. Want to make sure I get them all. Wixom, Wall Lake, Orchard Lake, and Wolverine Lake.
Oh, wow, amazing. Senator, how well do you know the Albanian community, and have you participated in any of our community events?
Well, I have one of the most diverse districts in the state of Michigan, with a lot of different communities, and I have had great pleasure in going around the community and meeting different groups that before I didn't represent. I was 6 years on the Oakland County Commission, and I was 4 years in the House, but the House district was much smaller. And this Senate district is a big sprawling district, so I have various communities, ethnic communities all over the district that I have really got to know and really enjoy. The Albanian community is one of those. The Albanian community is very business oriented, and I've met so many business people that have been struggling with this pandemic. So I'm really immersing myself in Albanian culture and trying to understand more about the challenges in the Albanian community. And so far, it's just been a very friendly community.
That's wonderful. Senator Runestad, in our community, we have many small business owners as well as many young, very well-educated Albanian Americans. The question is this: how can we work together to better organize and represent the Albanian community?
Well, I think we have a very strong overlaying interest in the business community. I've always been very pro-business. I had my own small business before I got into politics. So I know the challenges that the small businesses face, even back before the pandemic, how difficult it was to make ends meet as a small business. Lots of hours, lots of stress, and it's been astronomically higher with this COVID meltdown. So I have been advocating since this meltdown that we have policies in place to help the small businesses that are struggling. And one of the things I noticed right off is in the Albanian community, there is not really a central organization for the business community to surround itself with. So it's one of the things I'm working with the Albanian community to create a chamber of commerce for the Albanian community.
Oh, wow.
And I believe that this is going to be very successful. There's so many communities that coalesce, they refer, they bring each other together, and that's not been done yet in the Albanian community. And that's a number one goal I have.
And this is actually wonderful news. Okay, so let's talk about some political topics. Would you please tell us more a little bit about the Senator Daley's bill providing support to the affected businesses during the pandemic?
Yes, there's so many businesses, the small businesses in particular in Michigan, that have been hit so hard with this downturn. So many of them are still struggling even to get employees because of things were done at the federal level that make it difficult to get employees at this point. So they really have suffered enormously, our small businesses in Michigan. And this is to give them a tax credit for any business that has suffered at least a 30% downturn in their revenues in order to prop them up and get them through this downturn. So we'll be hearing that this week. And my hope is it'll get all the way to the governor.
That's wonderful. Would you please tell us about your efforts to support the middle-class families, and especially the child tax credit?
Yes, right now we passed out a $500 per child tax credit, so that comes right off of your taxes. And there's a couple of things that we were really seeing that are devastating families. And with this downturn and so many jobs being lost in Michigan, it's coming down to economics that a lot of people just can't afford to have children anymore. In fact, last year we had the lowest birth rate in Michigan since 1941, all the way back to during the World War II. So really, it's economics. People just say, I can't afford to have these children. They can't afford to put them in daycare. So this is to give these parents some degree of flexibility on getting some of their tax dollars back in order to either have children or raise those children.
Senator, there are other initiatives and proposals led by you in Congress, such as foster care awareness and suicide awareness prevention. Are these being discussed in commissions right now, and when do you think these proposals will be voted?
Yes, with both of those, I've been very involved with the Suicide Prevention Commission. That was a bill that I put in. It had bipartisan support, was signed by the governor, and that is to try to reduce suicides in the state of Michigan. Suicides have been exploding. We were way above the national average in suicide rates, and something's got to be done because particular individuals in particular communities really are hit hard. One of the things the statistics showed us was middle-aged men who are losing their jobs because of transitioning in the job economy. They're older, where it's very difficult to make a change in their jobs. They've done one thing that's been eliminated. They suffer depression, and that's been a huge part of this problem. So we're looking at best practices and things that we can do to mitigate this and hopefully turn those suicide rates around. In terms of the foster care, my wife, Kathy, and I were foster care parents, and we adopted our daughter out of foster care.
Amazing.
So it is a very big priority for me. And what I found is that they spend a lot of money to recruit parents into foster care. Once they're in there, they do not do a good job of supporting them. These parents have to be supported along the way in terms of what is the situation with the child that they have, keeping them informed, giving them a voice in the courts in terms of at least expressing their concerns. All of these things are so important for us to not only recruit foster care parents, but to keep them through the process. We're just not getting enough foster care parents into Michigan foster care system. We're still under court order from 2008. I think we're the longest serving state under court order for foster care.
Oh, wow.
So it's a huge, huge issue for me.
Senator Runestad, would you please tell us more about your effort to push for an investigation into the nursing home policies, and also your effort to press for more legislative control over pandemic orders, making sure that the people in Michigan are well represented in making decisions?
These two go very much hand in glove because I believe that the problems that we had with the nursing home policy is something that would not have happened if we had legislative involvement, which is the way our system was designed. You had three branches of government, but the way it turned out, the governor had unilateral dictatorial control of the entire process. Part of that decision-making early on, when they were deciding what to do with the most vulnerable, which are those over 70 with underlying health conditions, the majority of them that really have problems are in nursing homes, what to do with them? Well, in the governor's order 2020-50, the governor ordered that if you have a census in your nursing home under 80%, you have to create a unit to put inside of the nursing home to put those patients in. They didn't have the ventilation systems in order to make those individuals safe. If you had a census over 80, you sent to a hub, and the hub was set up the same way. Inside the nursing home, you had one part was for the nursing home patients with COVID, and if you came out of a hospital, you had a hip replacement, they put you in there even if you didn't have COVID. It was just a super spreader, and not one of the nursing homes that I've talked to experts had the kind of filtration systems to make those safe. That's the kind of thing the Nursing Home Association said, don't make us do this. They sent her a letter early on, March 13th. We can put them in a closed unit in order to make them safe, but that wasn't followed. So this kind of all dovetails together. I believe that if the legislature was involved through the entire process, many of these policies would not have taken place. Right now, I just put in a bill that passed out of the Senate bipartisan. It also passed out of the House, the same language, bipartisan, to let schools make a decision on their own graduation ceremonies. Right now, there's a matrix of crazy rules that I won't even go to them all. They just don't make sense. So the schools say we can't have a graduation. Now, they say we could do it safely, all kinds of ways we can do it safely if you empower us to make the safe decisions. That's what my bill does. That's going to go to the governor's office, and then we'll see what happens.
I hope it happens very soon. And Senator, all this information was a great insight for all of us. We would like to work together, and we also would like to invite you to participate more in our community events so you can get to know our community and our community leaders better.
I would love to have that opportunity.
In the near future.
I'm finding that the Albanian community is so welcoming and fun. That's always nice when a community is fun, and the Albanian community is a lot of fun. I want to be as involved as I possibly can.
Thank you, Senator, and I really thank you for coming here to our show tonight. And I thank you for everything that you do to well represent the 15th district here in Michigan. Looking forward to having you in our show again.
Thank you, Anita. I would love to come back. I really have enjoyed this. Thank you again.
Thank you.